Welcome back. Leap Enforcer Podcast, episode 31. Packer season is over. What an embarrassing ass game against the Bears. But it's atypical of what Matt LaFleur has been since he's been our coach. Keeping, we can have double digit leads. We fold. We had that game dominated. In the first half, they let, Jay Love sling the ball. Watson was involved a ton. Second half, we kind of go away from everything that works. I feel like Matt LaFleur, he tries to not lose a game instead of going and win the game. And what I mean by that is just putting a team away. It's 21-3 at half. There's no reason we should have let the Bears back in that game at all. But, we come out in the second half, tried to establish the run game still. It wasn't working in the first half, didn't work in the second half. We had some 3-and-outs, couldn't move the ball, had some really bad possessions. I just think if we would have just kind of stayed steady with the game plan that we had in the first half, I think we would have been okay. But it's been what we've done all season. I mean, we did it against Cleveland, we did it against Carolina. I mean, we did it against the Bears. 5 weeks ago? The second game we played them in Chicago. It's like, I don't know. It's who Matt LaFleur is. It's what the game plan. It's what the play calling is. I always go back to play calling because at the end of the day, when you're up 21-3, you got to put a team away. Go out there, put your foot on their neck and end this game. Go out there, put up a couple more touchdowns and call game. But it's not what we do. So I'm not going to dive into this Bears game. Was I surprised? No, I wasn't, because it's what Matt LaFleur does. It's what this team does. And our defense is just, we couldn't get a pass rush to save our life. I don't know what happened with Rashawn Gary. I don't know what happened with our D-line. I know we lost Parsons and Devontae Wyatt, but you would still expect a little bit more out of Rashawn Gary. He just completely disappeared this year after Micah got hurt. So, excuse me. I'm going to dive right into this. I'm going to start with the coaching, these coaching conversations. So, as of right now, it sounds like Matt LaFleur and the Packers have been trying to work out a deal since, it's been almost a week now. It sounds like Matt LaFleur wants a little bit of security as far as like a lengthier contract, and he wants some job security knowing that the team has faith in him moving forward, that he's just not riding, on this hot seat the whole time. So from the Packers' perspective, it doesn't sound like it's a issue of finances. It sounds like they're both on the same page as far as the amount per year. It's just the length of the contract, and it sounds like it's, he doesn't want to be on the hot seat, so he wants some security in his job. So there's been a lot of rumors about John Harbaugh coming in since he got fired from the Ravens. He's been a hot commodity. It sounds like he's getting ready to sign with the Giants. It's not a done deal. It sounds like, he'd like to be in Green Bay if the LaFleur and Packers cannot, come to an agreement. So let me ask you this. I'm going to dive into the Harbaugh thing just kind of real quick. So Harbaugh's been with the Ravens for 18 seasons? He's got a record of 180 and 113 win and losses. In the playoffs, he's 13-11. He's got one Super Bowl. He has had, over the last 6 seasons, he's had 10-plus games. I want to say it was 12 games when I was reading the stat. I know it's double-digit games that he has allowed double-digit comebacks in the second half. And if you know anything about Matt LaFleur, that's our issue. So John Harbaugh can't close games. He's also allowed 11 losses with a 7-point lead in the fourth quarter the last 5 years. I'm not going to harp on this a ton, but my point behind this is I'm not the biggest Matt LaFleur fan, but replacing him with John Harbaugh is replacing a red apple with a green apple. It's realistically the same thing. Why would we want the same thing that we can't, the same type of coach where we can't close games? But he's a hell of a lot older. If we hire John Harbaugh, what do you get him for? 3, 4, 5 years maybe. So, excuse me. I understand. John Harbaugh is this new toy that everybody wants to go get because he hasn't been available. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's not an upgrade over LaFleur. And I'm not a LaFleur fan. I'm really not. I'm not saying that I don't like him. I'm not saying that I do like him. But I can't stand his play calling. I've talked about it a ton. Is he a good coach? Yes. Can he close games? No. Would he be a better offensive coordinator? Absolutely. I think he'd be a way better offensive coordinator because he won't give up play calling. He doesn't know what's going on the field half the time. Most people don't even know who our offensive coordinator is. And Jeff Hafley's up in a box. So there's really nobody holding players accountable on the sidelines, in my opinion, because LaFleur's too busy play calling when the defense is, screwing up. So the Harbaugh thing, I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon. I'm not a Harbaugh guy. He couldn't win with Lamar Jackson. They made some deep playoff runs. He was 13-11 in the playoffs, but he couldn't get, back to the Super Bowl. And I just don't think it's an upgrade. So Tomlin, he's gone. I don't think excuse me, I have this lingering cough because of cold weather. I don't think Tomlin's going to be – I don't think he's going to coach again. I think he might flirt with some teams, talk to some teams maybe, maybe not this year, maybe next year, but I can't see him coming back. So to dive into the LaFleur thing, LaFleur's 3-6 in the playoffs. He's 76-40-1 overall record. So record-wise, regular season, him and Harbaugh are pretty similar. Just Harbaugh has – 18 seasons, and LaFleur has got, 7 seasons, I believe. So LaFleur's record in the playoffs, though, is disturbing. It's 3-6. But I also, I put an asterisk on that a little bit because of the 7 seed. Because once they introduce the 7 seed, it's Green Bay just gets a 7 seed every year. So we just go in as the last team in the playoffs, and we lose. So, if they didn't incorporate that 7 seed, playoff record might not be a conversation at this point. So, what to do with Matt LaFleur? If I had it, if you ask me my opinion, again, this is my podcast. I'm going to just give you what I feel. I would like to make Jeff Hafley head coach. I would offer Matt LaFleur the OC position. I don't think he'd take it, so I'd probably let him walk. But I don't think losing Hafley. I think Hafley is a better coach overall. He's got head coaching experience from Boston College. He's done really good with our defense, except for the last 6-7 games since Parsons been hurt. The teams just kind of fell apart with Wyatt going out as well. So my perfect coaching staff would be Jeff Hafley at head coach, Mike McDaniel at offensive coordinator, and Brian Flores at defensive coordinator. It'd be nice to pull him away from the Vikings. He's a hell of a defensive coordinator. I'd take him over pretty much anybody at that position, but I think he's going to get a head coaching job somewhere. So the LaFleur thing, I understand why Green Bay, wants to re-sign him. He's been good for Jordan Love. All the players love him. Everybody, speaks highly of him, but he's not getting us past the wild card round most of the time. I just feel like at some point there has to be a change made. And, maybe this hold up on the contract, maybe it's Ed Policy saying, hey, maybe you got to give up play calling or, allow Stenovich or bring in another offensive coordinator to play call. You can still design the plays. You can still have, have it in your headset. You can still have, an input. But I just think that the focus with Matt LaFleur is so all over the map that he's not able to actually be a head coach. He's just worried about his offense. That's just my opinion. So we'll see what happens. Will they re-sign him? Most likely. I think they will. Green Bay doesn't like to rock the boat a ton with that type of thing, and I don't think there's a better option out there. I think the best option is within their own clubhouse, and that's moving Jeff Hafley out of the box down to the field and making him head coach. That's what I would do. But I think we're going to lose Hafley. I could see him maybe going to Miami. I could see Tennessee maybe. He'd be a great fit with Pittsburgh. He just would. He could take him and take Malik Willis with him and kind of, start all over there with a fresh start in Pittsburgh. But, and he's got familiarity with Malik. So it would be something that would be workable. I think he could take him to Miami too also and start him at quarterback. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, I don't know if there's a better upgrade. So I could see them signing him. It'll probably come out in the next few days. They sign him, maybe a 5-year deal. I'm guessing probably somewhere $15 million a year. Harbaugh's getting sounds like 5-year, $20 million a year. So I don't know if he's going to get that kind of money, but who knows? Who knows what kind of what policy wants to do with this team? So Diving into the other thing with the coaching staff, Basakia should not have a job on this team anymore. I don't know why it's taken this long. I think I would have left him in Chicago when we were walking off the field. The guy's terrible. He's the highest paid special teams coach in the in the whole NFL, and he's got one of the worst special teams crews in the whole NFL. It's like I don't know what they're doing. I know that's Matt's like boy, but at a certain point, man, business is business, and friendships are different. You got to get rid of the guy. The guy now by us. Diving into what we have coming up, I'll go into the games here in a second coming up. But just lastly, I'm going to go into some of the unrestricted free agents and some of the possible cuts that we have coming up. So unrestricted free agents we have coming up is Quay Walker, Rasheed Walker, Malik Willis, Romeo Doubs, Enigbare, Sean Ryan, Fitzpatrick, Zane Anderson, and Nick Niemann. Who would I like to see them sign out of this group? I think we all want to see Doubs re-signed, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to go out and get, 15, 20 million a year, possibly from a team. Maybe not that much, maybe 12 to 15 million. I just don't know if we could pay him with, us wanting to keep, Watson and Reed, and with, drafting Golden this past season and having Wicks and getting Kraft back. I just don't know if you can invest that much more money into another receiver, essentially like a number 2 or number 3 receiver on your team. 12 to 15 million, I think, is probably going to be a sweet spot. I could see, a team like the Raiders or somebody that's really wide receiver needy going and paying them, that 15 to 20 million. But we'll see. But I'd love to have Doubs back. It seems like he kind of turned a page this past season. Just seemed like a lot happier to be on the team, a lot more energetic to be on the team. So I would really enjoy having him back. I don't know if it's feasible financially. So I would like to have Quay back. I think Quay's a no-brainer. Rasheed Walker, I think we can get him back cheap enough. I mean, he played well, and we need O-line right now, depth at O-line. So I'm all for re-signing him. I'm all for re-signing Sean Ryan. But I really wish we would go find an actual center, like a true center, and put him, at the center position and put these guys back to where they belong. I just, where they're comfortable. You got, Sean Ryan's playing center. Elgin Jenkins moved to center this past season before he got hurt. If we can get a center moved, those guys back to their normal positions, I think it'd be better on the offensive line. So Malik Willis he's not coming back. I'd love to have him back. There's just no way he's going to get a bag from somebody. Somebody's going to pay him. I mean, there's so many teams that need quarterbacks, and if you look at this draft upcoming, there's 1 or 2 good quarterbacks coming out. It's one of the weakest quarterback drafts there has been. So, Pittsburgh, Miami, it's, the Raiders. Raiders are going to take the kid from Indiana at 1. But there's a lot of teams out there that really need quarterbacks. So I just think Malik's going to get paid. And good for him, man. I'm going to root for him wherever he's at. He's been a hell of a backup for us. And he's come up clutch for us when we needed him. So, hats off to him. I'm going to root for him wherever he's at. I'm going to support him wherever he's at. So Enigbare, I think, is a no-brainer. I think Enigbare has to come back. I mean, he played the best ball opposite of Micah all season. We tried Rashawn, we tried Van Ness. We couldn't get any consistency of anybody on that side. I feel like Enigbare's played the best. I'm not sure kind of what money he'll bring in. He's not going to be like a top, a top paid DN, but he's gonna get some money. I think if we can work it out, maybe make it a lengthier contract with a signing bonus, bigger signing bonus, I think we can make it work. I would definitely bring back, Enigbare. Sean Ryan, I'd like to have back. It's not a must, but we need depth at the position and at the O-line position, and I think he's cheap enough. Fitzpatrick, I would let go. Anderson, Niemann, those guys are kind of just, I think they're replaceable in my opinion. That's just my opinion for what it's worth. But I think those guys are, whatever with me. But the top ones would be Quay, Enigbare, and Doubs, and then I would put Sean Ryan and Walker, right there. It'd be the second tier that I'd want to go get more so just for depth at that position because we need O-line. And then I'll go into the cuts. So these guys are eligible to be, we could cut them and save money on the cap because we're going to be way over on the cap. So Excuse me. I'm really short of breath. I'm this damn cold. It's so cold up here right now. It's like I think it's like 3 degrees out right now in Michigan. It's so cold, and that wind just destroys your lungs when you're out there. So I'm sorry for coughing and sound like I'm out of breath, but I'm just like trying to catch my breath. So the cut options would be McManus 3.6 million we'd save, Nixon 5 million we'd save, Rashawn Gary 19 million we'd save, Josh Jacobs 11.4 million we'd save, Hobbs 8.8, and then Elgin Jenkins 19.5. So we're going to be over cap. So we're going to have to make some cuts. We're going to have to get rid of some of these guys. Everybody's gung-ho on getting rid of McManus. So let me, and I defend McManus because the guy's won a Super Bowl and he's been like a consistent kicker. So the Chicago game, yes, he missed an extra point. He also missed a 55-yarder. I'm not going to put the 55-yarder on him. I'm going to put, I think the other one was a 42-yarder. I'll put the 42-yarder on him and I'll put the extra point on him. I don't give a damn. Go score more points. LaFleur, stop trying to be so damn complacent with having a 21-3 lead. Go score. I'm putting that on our play calling. I know we missed a kick. Am I bringing back McManus? I'm bringing back McManus. Am I bringing in, what is it, Haversick? No, I'm not. I know he's still, I think I think they re-signed him, but I'm bringing back McManus, and I'm not cutting at the 3.6. I'm just not. That's my opinion. Again, you guys can say what you want. I'm bringing him back because he's been consistent all year, outside of when he was hurt, and then in a windy ass game in Chicago, and our offense can't move the damn ball, so you're forcing the guy to make long kicks in the wind. It's like, all right. Anyways, I'm keeping him. Nixon can go as far away from this team as humanly possible. I don't care where you send him to Seattle, pay Seattle to take him. I don't care. The Nixon thing I'm completely over. I'm over this whole experiment of making a kick returner, a slot corner, and then a slot corner, an outside corner. The best place for Nixon is not on this team. The dude gets cooked constantly. He's out of position all the time. Every big play, the fourth down play that Caleb made the crazy pass, like it seems like Nixon's always just running around there somewhere. I'm bye. I don't care. Just send him on his way. There's one guy I want off this team. It's Nixon. If there's one person, him and Bisaccia, they can go back to the Raiders where they came from. Rashawn Gary, 19 million. Yeah, you're going to cut him. He's playing terrible right now. Unless he wants to, restructure his deal, I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm saying you have to probably cut him. I mean, he played well at times, but he has to have Parsons on the field, and the money that we're paying him, it's not worth it. So I'm getting rid of him. Josh Jacobs is a tough one. 11.4. If we can get Kenneth Walker, and we can sign Kenneth Walker like we signed Josh Jacobs and we let Aaron Jones go, if we can sign Kenneth Walker, then I'm cutting Josh Jacobs. Or if we know that we're going to sign Kenneth Walker, then I'm cutting Josh Jacobs. It's going to be a very tough one for me because I love Josh Jacobs as a player. I think he's a great human. I think he's great for the locker room. He's had a lot of knee issues this year, and he's aging for a running back. I'm taking Kenneth Walker, who is typically more healthier, and he's got a little bit more of a burst to him. If we can work something out with Jacobs to restructure and move some money down the road, I'm okay with that. I would be okay bringing him back. But I don't know if we can rely on him to be our one and continue to pay him the money we're paying him. That's just my thing on it. We're supposed to get Marshawn Lloyd back at some point. The guy's played one game in 2 seasons for us. So I don't know. I don't know if what they're gonna do with him. Hopefully he tries to come back again next year and we see what he has. Maybe he's got something in the tank. And then Emmanuel Wilson, I think, is just a must. I know he's a restricted free agent, but I'm throwing him out there because he played so well for us, and we have to keep him just because especially if we keep Jacobs and his injury issues that he's been having. So Jacobs is I'm teetering on. I think Kenneth Walker will be an upgrade just because of age and being dependable and being healthy. But Josh Jacobs, I mean, he's one of the best backs in the NFL when he's healthy. So it's very tough. It's just he's aging. So that's my only caution with him. Hobbs, I thought it was kind of a bad signing when we signed him. He hasn't played very well at all. He's again, him and Nixon are, in my opinion, it's crazy because they're our best 2 corners, but they're 2 of the worst corners starting corners, I think, in the league, which is mind-boggling to me. So the Hobbs thing, I'm going to try to distance myself from that contract as much as I can. And then Elgin Jenkins, 19.5, I unfortunately think they're going to cut him. It's just a lot of money, coming off that injury, and it's kind of a way for them to get out. If they can try to figure out a way to cut and I don't know, restructure a deal somehow maybe, but we need O-line. So on this sheet, I mean, the one that I'm keeping is McManus, and then Josh Jacobs and Jenkins I'd like to have back if we can make the money work. Hobbs, Gary, and Nixon. Nixon and Hobbs, I don't want on the team no more. Rashawn Gary, again, if they can figure something out, I just don't think they will. I think he's going to be on another team next year. That's just my 2 cents. So anyways, that's my little rundown of unrestricted free agents and possible cut victims. So I'm going to jump in real quick. I'm not going to make this any longer. I don't know how many more podcasts I'll be doing this season just because it's, Packers football is over. I might come back on once LaFleur signs or hopefully we make some changes on the coaching staff. Not Hafley. I'd like to have Hafley back, but I don't think he's coming back. But I'll probably do one next week or something. So let's just jump into the games this weekend. Bills, Broncos. I'm going with Josh Allen. I know they're hurt. I know Josh Allen I think every part of his body is hurt right now, but I'm going to roll with Josh Allen. I just think this is their year. I had them and Rams, before the playoffs started, and I'm going to roll with those two teams. I'm going Bills to upset the Broncos at home. Niners Seahawks is a very tough game for me because I like the Niners a ton. They're just so decimated on defense. They are so hurt on offense. Kittle's out. It's like Trent Williams is out. So, this is a tough one. I'm going to go Niners, and this is probably the one that's going to be wrong. I think the Seahawks are they're definitely a healthier team. They're at home. They should win this game. But the reason I'm going to pick the Niners is because I don't trust Sam Darnold in big games. I just don't. So I'm going to take the Niners. Texans, Pats. I'm taking Texans. That defense is out of control. I think the Pats and Broncos will be really good, but I think they're going to be good, and I think they're a year or two away. So I'm going with Texans on the road. So I'm taking all 3 road teams. I'm taking all 4 road teams. The Bears, because they're so damn lucky. And I think that Matt Stafford and Devontae are going to come in there. I think they're going to just put up points. If Chicago, if they can get the pass game going, they might have a chance because that's where you're going to beat the Rams is their secondary is a little bit suspect at times. But their front 4 can get to the quarterback, and they can stop the run. So, but I'm going Rams. I'm taking all 4 road teams, which is not likely it's going to happen. I think if there's one game that I'm wrong on, it's probably the Seahawks one. So, but I'm going to go with the 4 road teams. And again, the Bears, because it's the Bears. The Bears still suck. I don't care. They're lucky. And I hope that McVay gets back for the way that Ben Johnson did the lack of handshake with LaFleur. It's just he's petty. I'm just kind of I'm not a Bears fan. There's one team that I hate. It's the Bears. That's the team I hate the most in the NFL. So not a fan of anybody on the team, not a fan of Caleb, not a fan of any of them. So they got lucky. Yeah, they beat us. So be it. They still got lucky. So hopefully they get knocked out. But episode 31, Leap Force podcast. If you guys follow me this season, I appreciate it. I will continue next year. I'm going to try to do a little bit more, maybe get some people on the podcast with me. I'm really still kind of learning some of this podcasting stuff with editing and all that stuff and trying to get people on the podcast and platforms, yada, yada. So anyways, Leap Enforcer podcast, episode 31. Shoot me a message. Give me a follow. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Appreciate it. And as always, go Pack, go. See ya.